Come see us doing live shows. We'll be in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only jimmydore.com. So I want to remind you that the people who are screaming the loudest about climate change don't really believe it. And how do I know? Because they all travel around the world in jets. They all have super gigantic 300-foot yachts. They all own multiple mansions with tens of thousands of air conditioners, and they're buying beachfront property. So
they blew up that pipeline, which is the worst disaster for climate change ever.
And they blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. So here, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder. Here's Elizabeth Warren from 2020. She was exiting a private jet, and she was hiding behind her aide once she realized she's being filmed. And just to remember, Elizabeth Warren is a climate activist. And she wants to kill crypto because crypto is killing the environment, according to her. But she spent $721,000 of campaign money on private jets in 2020.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. And hey, look, Liz Warren gets a private jet. Wow. And that's on top of her people already getting to own casinos. Isn't that something? I mean, I don't know about you, Kurt, but I think after what all her people have been forced to walk the Cherokee Trail of Tears, she deserves to go everywhere in her own private jet, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
It's the least we can do.
And watch, she has to, it's terrible. She has to hide getting off her own jet. Watch this. So here she is. So she realized she's getting filmed coming off her private jet. Climate activist. There's our climate. And then she hides. She immediately hides. Come on. We need tougher laws on jet shaming. That's not right. Look at her.
Yeah, there's no way you can tell it was her.
Look at her.
Oh, gosh darn it.
And she's wise in the ways of the land. Her native blood instinctively tells her to blend into the scenery.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Here's Bill Gates. Bill Gates says he's not a hypocrite for being a globe-trotting climate warrior because he pays to offset his pollution.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do whatever you want as long as you have wealth to balance it out. Listen to what he says, really.
Say to the charge that if you are a climate change campaigner, but you also travel around the world on a private jet, you're a hypocrite.
Well, I buy the gold standard of funding Climeworks to do direct air capture that far exceeds my family's carbon footprint. And I spend billions of dollars on climate innovation.
Oh, so if you're wealthy enough, you can fly around in a jet, live in mansions with 1 million air conditioners, and do whatever you want. Have a yacht with diesel engine. You can do whatever you want if you're rich enough.
Fairness.
He buys climate offsets. If you really thought that climate change was real, you wouldn't fly around in a private jet anymore. Plus, you would also give money to carbon offsets.
Yeah. Also, you wouldn't do like, in what do they call them in the church that caused them to split off into the Protestants, indulgences, where rich people could buy off their sin by bribing the church.
Yeah, that's right. What was that called? There's a name for that.
Indulgences.
Indulgences. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason there was a big split and Protestantism formed because of this kind of shit.
Let's watch this again.
Say to the charge that if you are a climate change campaigner, but you also travel around the world on a private jet, you're a hypocrite.
Well, I buy the gold standard of funding Climeworks to do direct air capture that far exceeds my family's carbon footprint. And I spend billions of dollars on climate innovation.
Innovation.
So, should I?
So when he says I spend billions of dollars on climate innovation, that means I invest in companies that are going to make money off climate change. That's his spending billions on climate innovation.
Right now, I'm blotting out the sun.
Right. Yeah. Right now, he's trying
to blot out the sun. So that's a big help.
Yeah.
I killed all those African people with.
Hey, just because he has tits doesn't mean he's going to suckle the world, okay?
Stay at home and not come to Kenya and learn about farming and malaria. Anyway, I mean, I'm comfortable with the idea that
he's got to go to Kenya and learn.
Mm-hmm.
What are you supposed to do? Stay home and not learn about Kenya, Kurt? Come on.
Yeah.
I bet if we all chipped in, we could buy Bill Gates an iPad that has internet access, and then he could learn about Kenya.
Well, plus, Kenyan farming is probably the main source of greenhouse gases after jets and Nord Stream and the military and all the other things. And here.
He's not going there, by the way, to learn about Kenya. He knows about Kenya. He's going there to strip it of every valuable thing that's left in Kenya and experiment on their children with experimental vaccines.
Yeah, well, that gets the population down and helps climate change.
That's right. Is there more to this clip?
Not only am I not part of the problem by paying for the offsets, but also through the billions that my Breakthrough Energy group is spending, that I'm part of the solution.
Yeah, so flying around the world in jets doesn't contribute to climate change because he's got billions of dollars. Do you follow this, right? So flying in private jets does not contribute to climate change. Does it contribute to climate change or doesn't it? Well, of course it does. And if you really believe that it did, and if you really believed climate change was a threat, you would stop flying around the world in private jets. And you would, in fact, you would encourage a law passed to ban private jets. What, Kurt?
Most of those flights he was jet pooling with Epstein.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's pretty green.
Yeah. That's what you call going. That's why he talks like Kermit the Frog. He's so green.
So you see how this goes? That's like saying, of course I rape kids, but I pay for rape offsets.
I bet you
I'm funding.
That's the thing that's been said around the Gates household a few times.
I'm funding birth control for kids in Africa.
Yeah. His own words were, I'm funding vaccines to help depopulate.
That was
very strange logic as to how that
is
works.
A strange logic. Bill Gates, here he is. He's going to say that planting trees to offset carbon emission is unproven. I'm not kidding. So this is just proof that he didn't graduate college and is a bad liar.
Wait, carbon capture devices are called trees.
That's what a carbon No, he wants to. Again, he can't make money off planting trees, but he can make money off of a device that he's going to invest in that captures carbon. That's why he tells you. That's why he's going to tell you this. He says, and what? Well, it's this is real.
It's like that old Norm Macdonald joke about how scientists invented a new wine pill. It's called the grape.
So let's watch. Here we go.
But are you offsetting your own personal emissions
Yes.
with that? And what can you give us a sense of the scale of that?
It's like 10 million a year.
Okay. And just
it's a variety of things. The Climeworks is part of it. Buying electric heat pumps for low-income housing where they get the benefits of lower monthly bills, and I take the carbon credits for those things. There's
I take the carbon
solar
credits.
panels. There's a huge variety of things. I don't use some of the less proven approaches.
Such as?
I don't plant trees.
There's a lot of people
proven about that.
No, trees don't absorb carbon. Of course they don't. What?
It's weird because when I was young, they told me all the trees would be gone by now.
Yeah.
And now NASA shows us there's more trees than ever. And the Earth is not a desert from climate change at all. In fact, the trees absorb carbon. So what in the hell are they talking about?
Let me even ask Suri. See if Suri knows that. Hey Suri, do trees absorb carbon?
Yes. Trees absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis.
Yeah.
This is from Wikipedia.
Even Wikipedia knows this. Even Suri knows this, the lady who lives inside my phone. She knows it.
College dropout Bill Gates, the computer guy, says it's unproven.
Yeah.
And I think we should listen because he is rich.
So photosynthesis. So he's not hip to photosynthesis.
That's worse than a flat earther.
This is kind of unbelievable. Hey, why would you plant a tree when you can stick a G5 tower there, and then just put some fake branches on it and some leaves, So not only that do you still notice that it's there, but you're still insulted by the attempt to hide it. Do you ever see how they try to hide those G5 towers?
When we were finding places to move into, one of these houses, it was like nice, but it was really low rent, like crazy low, because it was right next to a 5G tower. And they go, listen, if you start to feel sick, you can break the lease.
Ah.
Yeah.
So here he's got more to say.
Very enamored with trees. We've got trees on this stage. Some people would even say that if you just planted enough trees, it could take care of the climate issue altogether.
And that's complete nonsense.
Okay.
I mean, are we the
Complete
science
nonsense?
people or are we the idiots? Which one do we want to be?
What?
Which side-
Hang on.
I mean, are we the science people or are we the idiots? Which one do we want to be?
I think you're both, because if anybody who calls themselves the science people are idiots who are lying to you and flying around the world fighting climate change in their private jets and yachts.
Is he not allowed to say scientist for like legal reasons?
Right.
You know, like how the one guy's a science communicator, Bill Nye is just a science guy.
He's a science guy.
He's not a scientist.
I'm just going to come out and say that anybody that refers to themselves as the science people are fucking idiots. And if you follow them, you are as well.
What are we going to do? This stupid thing? Are we going to be? I love looking at Bill Gates for that, as if that's like the.
So and you want to see another climate activist? Here's Mark Zuckerberg's yacht. That's his. He's fighting climate change. He's got 4 diesel engines on his yacht, but I'm sure it has an electric stove. Got 4 diesel engines. That boat is so big.
Not a single gas-powered leaf blower on that boat. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it. By the way, if anybody's looking for a Christmas gift for me, let my subscription to Yacht World lapse.
Yeah.
Yacht World. Zuckerberg's a $300 million launch pad for controversy.
Hey, if you want to end the worldwide human trafficking network, why don't you start with whoever subscribes to Yacht World?
What's controversy? Is that a new app? Jeez.
Wait, is Launchpad the app or is Controversy the app? I'm not clear.
And this is just the dinghy that takes you out to the big boat. There's no way. There's simply no way on earth that the money needed to purchase that was acquired legitimately.
Well, unless you think Facebook is not legitimate, which.
And I love there's I forget what was her name. Fran Lebowitz said, "You don't make $400 million. You steal $400 million."
Yeah.
So here, you want to see it? Here it is.
This is Mark Zuckerberg's super yacht launchpad, a veritable palace on the water that showcases the vast possibilities of the Facebook legacy. Measuring an impressive 118 meters in length, this nautical marvel hails from the prestigious Feedship shipyard in the Netherlands, making her grand debut in 2024. With a beam of 15.5 meters and a draft of 4.6 meters, Launchpad offers a spacious and stable ride, boasting a substantial volume of 5,050 GT. Her sleek exterior design is crafted by the renowned Espen Oino International, while the luxurious interiors are the work of the masterful Zoretti Interior Design.
Oh,
Constructed
Zoretti.
with a robust steel hull and a lightweight aluminium superstructure,
Aluminium.
Launchpad is powered by 4 MTU engines that propel her to a top
4.
speed of 24 knots. She's not just
Four separate diesel engines. 4.
Yeah.
Not one big one. 4.
beauty. She's a powerhouse on the water.
Powerhouse.
In the world of super yachts, Launchpad ranks at number 46 among the largest, and she proudly holds the title of the second largest yacht ever built by Feedship.
Wow.
That thing is so big you could land aircraft on it. That's how big.
You know what's
and
amazing?
nothing, as an environmentalist, I'm sure nothing gets you closer to Mother Earth than staring at the moon from your helipad. Am I right? Come on.
I'm actually amazed that the AI narrator sounds more human-like than Mark Zuckerberg.
No kidding. Mark Zuckerberg, this is from Hindustan Times. His $300 million super yacht visuals slammed as climate hypocrisy hideaway.
Ooh, that sounds nice. Are they taking reservations?
And hey, look, it's Mark Zuckerberg's yacht. I'm sure him flying private jets with Bill Gates is helping the planet, though. It's all our fault instead.
Well, how would we know it's our fault unless they flew around the planet telling us it's our fault in a private jet? And then landed on a giant boat with 4 diesel engines.
You know, it's cheaper to actually just get a bigger dick. They can take skin from your head and put it on your dick. And isn't it amazing that your head and your dick are compatible?
Yeah. Hey, my yacht is in my pants, Jimmy.
I think Mark Zuckerberg should do the right thing here and donate Launchpad to the flood of immigrants pouring into the country. That's what I think he should do.
There's clearly plenty of space, and the private flights the government booked for them could land on the boat.
I mean, they're doing it right in your face. These people screaming about climate change are doing it right in your face.
Well, I know. That's why I don't believe in it anymore. And I really did. And I'd argue with people, and I would say to people that said this is nonsense, I would go, well, I sure hope you're right.
Yeah.
And guess what? They were.
They were. Jeff Bezos, another climate activist, his super yacht produces 7,000 tons of carbon emissions per year.
Wait, are they an activist for carbon and I'm misunderstanding the thing?
I think they're in a competition to see who can dump the most shit into the ocean and into the air before they abandon all their surface toys and head to their underground cities, because you know they have them.
Yeah. It probably doubles as a submarine, some of these really nice ones.
Oh, record private jet flights into Davos as leaders arrive for climate talk.
That's fantastic. Okay, guys, listen. The Earth's temperature just went up 3 full degrees from our flights here. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Experts predict up to 1,500 individual private flights in and out of an airfield serving Swiss ski resort for the World Economic Forum. Well, these are the people telling you to get an electric stove, get rid of your lawnmower, and drive scooters and live in a shipping container.
That's the Vatican for shit libs.
It's amazing. So I got to. That's in Switzerland. Switzerland may be neutral, but it certainly isn't carbon neutral. Am I right? Come on. And here's Barack Obama. He's given a speech to Africans, and he's going to tell them that they can't have air conditioners or cars. The guy who flew there on a private jet.
He's actually the most honest one so far.
So yeah, you're actually right. So watch this.
Ultimately, if you think about all the youth that everybody's mentioned here in Africa, if everybody's raising living standards to the point where everybody's got a car and everybody's got air conditioning and everybody's got a big house, well, the planet will boil over. Ultimately, if you think about...
So this is called climate change imperialism. In other words, only developed countries can have nice things, and guys like him. The guy has 3 mansions. If everybody's going to have air conditioning, a car, and a big house, the world's going to boil over. That's why I have all 3 of those things. He has all 3 of those things. Plus, he has private jets.
Jimmy, I get carbon offsets by having my gay chef killed.
Yeah. I don't think he actually owns a private jet, but you know, everywhere he flies is probably on a private jet. He doesn't fly.
Jimmy?
You think he flies commercial?
Jimmy, look, a lot of Africans, you can't have a house, and a lot of you are going to have to be used in medical experiments by Bill Gates. So it's always with the earth will boil over.
So, this is amazing.
Ultimately, if you think about all the youth that everybody's mentioned here in Africa, if everybody's raising living standards to the point where everybody's got a car and everybody's got air conditioning and everybody's got a big house, well, the planet will boil over.
Well, why don't you well, first of all, here it is. He's got 3 stunning homes just in the United States, Barack Obama.
Yeah. Well, he said everybody. It doesn't mean him, obviously. Where the president's not supposed to be wildly rich and have a Netflix contract when he's done.
Here's his house on Martha's Vineyard. He bought it for almost $12 million. Look at that.
Oh, look at all those trees heating up the atmosphere. Not helping.
Well, I wonder how many air conditioners he has in this house alone. And by the way, that looks like Oceanside property.
I actually have a house the size of Africa.
Is Is he not worried about? So those people don't get to have cars, houses, or air conditioning, but he gets to have 3 giant mansions and fly in private jets. Isn't that wild?
Well,
so these people telling other people that they have to sacrifice for climate change, but then they do it the most extravagant thing right in your face.
Wow, it's like they could get away with absolutely anything, and you would just call it a conspiracy theory no matter what because you're dumb.
I mean, he's the elite, and they love wagging their royalty right in your fucking face. And that's the point of royalty, actually, to be able to do what others can't, while flagrantly displaying contempt for their own subjects, because that's what this is.
While you fight about a legitimate self-defense case in the subway with these assholes like maniacs on the street, this is where they live, and then they just rile people up with dumb identity politics shit.
He's got 2 more houses, one in Chicago and one in an exclusive neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Plus, he has another one, the awesome Hawaiian mansion nearing completion. Everybody, this is Obama's mansion in Maui.
I leave the AC on in all the houses because when I arrive, I like it to be nice and crisp.
This is real.
Not to mention,
This well could be where Barack and Michelle Obama will spend their retirement years. Assuming, of course, that they will ever fully retire. It sits on 3 acres in the community of Waimanalo on the island of Oahu. Oh, that's Oahu, not Maui. They bought the property back in 2015 for $8.7 million. So he's got a $12 million house on Martha's Vineyard. He's got another one in D.C., another one in Chicago, and now he's got this one on Oahu.
It's not from corruption. That is a normal way for presidents to. That's just stuff they should have.
That's just stuff they should have.
Yeah. But don't forget back when he was in office and we found out from WikiLeaks that he spent over $60,000 having pizza and hot dogs flown in.
Yes.
Wow, I've almost been some good pizza and hot dogs for $60,000. That's more than Kamala probably spent on pizza and hot dogs, and she spent a lot.
And if a volcano goes off in Hawaii, the Obamas will show up like superheroes and blow it right back down in the hole. This is Obama territory now, Kurt.
Yeah, I figured they just go in their underground base, maybe take along some spare pizza and hot dogs to get through the overworld bad times.
So the people telling you that you gotta live in shipping containers in 15-minute cities, drive electric scooters, and eat the bugs that hit you in the face are living like that. This is how they're living. This is how they're living. And I buy carbon offsets. So if you thought that it was actually killing the planet and it was dangerous, you would stop doing activities that cause climate change. But they're not. These people, do these people look like they give an F about climate change? Do these people look like they give an F about climate change? Does this guy look like he gives an F about climate change?
Yeah, well, Jimmy, you and your petty needs to live are really what they think is killing the planet. Your petty needs of shelter and climate control inside of a house and a car to get around to your job. It's really your guys' fault. And let's face it, let's look at all the things that have happened over the last 10 years. It's all to make sure there's less of you.
Yep.
So we're going to sterilize your kids by any means necessary. We're going to make you take experimental gene therapies, all kinds of fun stuff.
Come see us doing live shows. We'll be in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and only jimmydore.com.